Hello everybody, welcome back to Stargirl Society, the podcast that inspires you to reclaim your power and start living the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Phoebe Goldsmith, and in today's episode, we're going to be going through how to fall in love with life, how to make every day of your life the best day of your life, how to actually do something with this precious time that we're given instead of being in an existential crisis all the time. I wish you guys could know how atmospheric this is for me right now. Like, it's literally snowing in this window behind where I'm filming and I feel so cozy. If you like today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can follow if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you want to receive updates about new episodes and stuff like that, then you can follow the Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod. If you like content like this, then I suggest you follow my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith. I post all things self-actualization, self-help, mental health, just becoming your best self. Everything is linked down below in the description box. There is a big issue in society, and it is that people are dying with regret. It is that people are living for the weekend. It is that people are living for special occasions, and it is that people hate their life. There is a way to start living without regret, and there is a way to start living life like every single minute is a gift. Unfortunately, I think people are missing the whole point of life, and I don't want that to be you, and I don't want that to be me. Today we're going to be running through habits that are going to help you to look back at your life with pride, to live with a bit less regret, and to feel a bit more alive. I think that the biggest mistake people make when they think about living life with no regrets and being like on cloud nine all the time is that they think that by doing that, every single day is going to be like unbelievable and you're living life on the edge and you have to be reckless or be in this just like constant high, but that is not the case. What if I told you you could live a peaceful, happy and fulfilled life and still make mistakes, still have down days, still have days where you do nothing? We all know those times when we have seen some inspirational TikTok and all of a sudden you just have this like existential moment and you just feel high on life and so motivated to change your life and live it authentically. I think we all know that feeling, but it never lasts. And I think it's because people don't understand the true essence of falling in love with life and what that actually means, and that a fulfilled life still does include a lot of things that most people are trying to push away out of their life. In fact, I think pushing things away in life is the easiest way to be unfulfilled. You know, I don't claim to have all the answers, but all that I know is since I've tried to be a lot more intentional about living each day to the fullest and focused on being more fulfilled, I just feel so much happier with time passing, and I live in a lot less regret about what I'm doing with my time and my life. I do think because of my ADHD, I have a natural sense of urgency in life and the need to like live it and do it. I think because of that, I have a constant awareness of the bigger picture anyway, but I also think it's just me as a person. I think when people are seeing life in a more shallow way, it just makes me sad. I think living with an awareness of life and how deep it truly is and what it's truly meant for isn't always easy. I think that's why a lot of people like resort to kind of a surface level way of thinking. Seeing life a bit more deep can make you spiral sometimes, but I think I would just far rather that and live such a rich and meaningful life. I want to be rich in all emotion and rich in experience of all types of experiences in life. So let's dive into some tips about how we're going to start to fall in love with life. If you're sick of the way that you're experiencing life, then you need to stop trying to be happy and start trying to be at peace. Stop chasing a false sense of fulfillment by trying to be happy all the time. When you start viewing the human experience as just that, an experience, life just gets so much better. This is literally a game. Life is literally a game. Happiness and joy are incredible feelings, but they are feelings and emotions. Whereas I believe that being at peace is a state of being. Being at peace means allowing all emotions, allowing whatever happens in your path on any given day, and being at peace with it, not forcing it or trying to change it, like allowing the experience of life to be experienced through you. If you're aiming for happiness and joy all the time, you're going to burn yourself out, not only because it's draining to chase that, but also you risk entering a state of toxic positivity, which is exactly not what you want, and it's going to make you sadder, ironically. Being at peace to me is being emotionally free, and there's nothing more I can aim for than to just be free in my life. Like, be free with the things I want to say and do, and be free with whatever is in my path and whatever is destined to happen. And when we push negative experiences or negative emotions away, way, we're keeping ourselves in a cage. I think for a while, a really long time actually, as somebody who has struggled with their mental health a lot, when people would tell me to let go or to allow emotions, that made me feel like my mental health issues were winning. That to me scared me because I felt like if I actually let emotions in, that I was surrendering to something that I didn't want to, that I was going to be overtaken by like what I'm having a war against. So I get it, like trying to tell yourself to allow bad experiences or bad emotions, like it feels like a war that you're surrendering to. I used to have the world's biggest fear of loss of control in my life. But ironically, it was because I had no control over my life, because the more you try and control, the less control you have. When you open yourself up to all possibilities and stop chasing after happiness, happiness will find you, because it is not your job to figure out how that will happen and how you're going to experience what you want out of life. It's about having the intention and then allowing whatever comes in your day. That's how you begin to fall in love with the process of life, understanding what the process actually involves. And I think on a daily basis, we have to think about like what this looks like for us. And to me, it looks like letting what is going to be. Let people think what they want to think. Let people do what they're going to do. Let things go wrong. Let the weather be bad. Let it rain. Let there be traffic. If you're serious about starting to enjoy life, you cannot let these things get to you. I'm telling you right now, there is going to be traffic so long as you live, okay? You are going to continue to get stuck in traffic so long as you live. There's going to be days where the weather is bad, unless you move to somewhere where there isn't. I think we waste so much energy on a daily basis trying to control things that are just completely out of our control. And not only out of our control, but I just believe that everything is happening for my best interest. I could sit in traffic and complain, but most of the time I'm thinking, oh, thank goodness, I was probably protected from something that could have happened if I wasn't stuck in this traffic. Let it be, guys. Just let it be. The next way to fall in love with your life on a daily basis is to practice pride every day. I think it's very easy for us to look at our good days and the days that we achieve the most and be like, gosh, today was a great day. But what's really important if you want to not only enjoy life more, but also create more unconditional love for yourself, is at the end of every day, find something that you're proud of. Every day, even if you did nothing, you should be proud of yourself for resting or proud of yourself for getting through the day. By doing this, you're kind of tricking your mind into seeing every day as important. Every day is having a purpose. And every day is something that you achieved something in. It also protects us from having external validation, making us think that we have to be doing particular things in our day for it to be a quote unquote good day. But actually, if you start to find the little moments in every single day where you did something that you were proud of, even the boring days, even the hard days, you will start to feel more fulfilled, because you're not just blindly going through your weeks and months and years without appreciating what actually happened and appreciating yourself for what you did. Additionally, I think another way or another mindset shift that is really great in order to fall in love with life is to stop fearing getting older. I want you to completely flip your mindset on its head and think every single day that you grow older is a blessing. It's a gift. Aging is the biggest gift we can possibly ever receive. I really try every day to say thank you for this new day. Or if I'm in a bad mood, I say thank you over and over and over and over again every second. Or every second that goes by, I say, I'm blessed, I'm highly favored. I'm blessed and highly favored. Because every single second that you're alive, the universe, whatever you believe in, is not done with you, okay? Like, it is not done. You are still here. Other people are not here, okay? And I'm not saying that in the sense that life cannot be extremely, extremely difficult and we have to just always feel like it's not. It really can be, but I think that when we think particularly about how scared people are to get older, and you look at the effects of that in society, and no one wants to look old anymore, no one wants to feel old, always biohacking, etc. This fear is absolutely immense. And interestingly as well, I think since I flipped my mindset of how quickly maybe maybe my 20s are feeling. I actually have felt like time has slowed down. Like the more I've been like, I have time, I'm grateful for this time on earth, like time has genuinely slowed down. And I think time in general, when you feel more fulfilled in life, is slower, which is just so ironic. When people are unfulfilled and are scared and have regrets, like time seems to go quicker. And I think even if you hate your present reality and you struggle to feel grateful for a life that you maybe currently hate, just see that you got to love another day. Stop thinking, oh, I got to live another day, because maybe you hate it. Maybe you hate every waking second of your life, but you got to love another day. You got to spend another day on earth with someone that you love, whether you're physically with them or not. Also, in regards to how time slows down when you're more fulfilled, I think it's also really important to not regret wasting time. I don't believe that time is ever truly, truly wasted. I think we can look in the present and think, how can we utilize our time better? But we need periods of our life where we quote unquote waste time. We need periods where we feel stuck. We need periods where we're completely like not even conscious of time passing. I think that's almost the joy of it. Like I can look at certain periods of my life and think, oh, I wasted that time. I wasn't thinking about this step or this step or this step. Some of those times were like the best time of my life. Like you're not really a conscious being for like most of your childhood until you're an adult. And we're not conscious of wasting time. Like you could easily see that as so many years, especially my like teen years where I just was like not even a real person, just like so blasé about life. But I'm so glad I had that time because I was present and I was enjoying life as what I knew life to be. And even as an adult, like there are going to be times when you feel like you were just wasting away. And I get it. I felt like that. I've been in periods like that. I've come out of periods of depression, for example, and been like, I'm just wasting what I felt to be like the best years of my life being depressed. But all we can do is look at what or how we're living our life and learn from that. You are never going to get that time back. Like we just have to accept it. And living in regret of wasting time is a waste of time. You're actually wasting more time by regretting. Regret is a feeling that we make up ourselves. We don't have to feel that way. We can condition ourselves out of regret. Okay, this is less gentle parenting and more tough love parenting. I'll tell you why you hate your life. It's because there was a past version of you that said they were going to do things for the present you and they never did. There's a version of you that always says one day, one day, one day, and now you're at that one day and it never happened. Enjoying life and falling in love with life is having an awareness and knowing that there's a future version of you that needs your support right now for them, even if you're not feeling the immediate effects of it, doing it for that version of you that will need to feel the effects of that. I do genuinely feel like being present is the most important thing, but we can also do as much as possible in order to help a different version of us enjoy that. It shouldn't take up most of our time or our thoughts, because that's when we build up anxiety about the future. But starting to be a bit more conscious about our future self and not just being destructive and living for those short dopamine rushes and that short-term burst of happiness will definitely do you a favor. Happiness, joy is a temporary emotion, but if we focus on the state of being in peace, then that's when you can start to have an awareness of how your actions are affecting all versions of you. And it truly is so hard sometimes to resist doing what feels right in the moment, but we all have that gut feeling within us. And if you can just push through that difficult feeling, because you seriously can, like, do not underestimate yourself. You can do difficult things. When we push ourselves through that and do it in the pursuit of a happier life for ourselves in the long term, things will just start to blossom for you. Undoubtedly, you don't need me to tell you that, but it's just a gentle reminder. The next time you have to make a choice, try your best to do the thing that has long-term peace in mind. Something I think that not a lot of people are ready to hear is that the day in, day out you is you, not you on your best day. Yes, that is exactly what you're capable of and more. No, you are not going to be like that every day, obviously, but I do think that your life is only as great and as magical as you live it the majority of the time. It's not about expecting every day to be the most exhilarating day of your life, but it's about not living for the weekend. It's about making every day as special as you possibly can. Don't write off an unexciting day. This is your day. This is your life. Make this boring day the best boring day you've ever had. There are always opportunities within every single day, no matter how mundane it is, to add magic into your life, as to show up for yourself in whatever way it looks like for that particular day. Living for the weekend is literally a one-way ticket to regret on your deathbed. I promise you. You will feel so much more fulfilled. You will fall in love with life when you start understanding the opportunity that lies in each day. We have to remember that days, weeks, months, the work week, the 9-to-5 lifestyle is something we have made up. Do not let that make you think that the majority of your life cannot be fun and exciting. You just have to go against the grain and find ways to add that into your life. On the flip side of that though, and this might now sound contradictory, but just stick with me, I think it's important to change the way that we view rest. So obviously we've spoken about making life better and more fulfilling on a daily basis and not writing off the potential in each day. But what I'm not saying is that you should start seeing rest as unproductive. When I say make life exciting for yourself, what I mean is looking at what you need and making the most out of that. If you need a rest day, you make that the best rest day you can. What you shouldn't do is be like, oh my God, I need rest, but like you hate it the whole time that you're resting, or you're bullying yourself over resting, or worse, you're just ignoring the fact that you need to rest. You identify you need a rest day, and instead of viewing that as something unproductive and boring and writing off the day, you literally take so much pride in that rest day. Start seeing rest as essential, as spiritual, as productive. Taking adequate rest, getting enough sleep, making sure you have days for yourself scheduled frequently, which I'll talk about in a second, made life literally worth living. I used to have such a problem with rest, like almost a kind of compulsion against rest. Again, circling back to my ADHD, I inherently feel not good enough unless I'm always doing something, because I always have the urge to be doing something 24/7, 365. And it's something that I've had to work on a lot. But what I do now is I schedule at least one day in the week where I have absolutely no to-do list, and making it sort of like have novelty and fun. Like my mission is to make this the best rest day ever. Sort of makes my brain, or tricks my brain into thinking that it's like productive, like something I want to do because it has like a goal to be as rested as possible. I kind of just have to make some things a game for my brain. Hustle culture is an absolute scam, because there are particular people that have realized if they create this notion that you have to work hard to get money, people will do just that. They will work hard. They will literally work themselves to death, work almost their whole life, which is benefiting other people, by the way. And then they get to the end of their life and realize they did nothing but work. It's a trap. It's intentional. Do not fall victim to hustle culture. The more you hustle, I think the more you're actually falling behind. Work smart and not hard. Implement more rest into your life and see how much more fulfilled you become. My last point in today's episode will be this. I know you are worried about something right now. Think right now what the best case scenario is. We so naturally, as humans, predict the worst outcome, a survival instinct almost, and it's useful to us in a lot of survival situations. It is not useful to us to be rippled with this anxiety of the worst case scenario in our day-to-day lives. Start training yourself to think about the best case scenario. Don't try and force thoughts about the worst case scenario away, but allow yourself to also think of the best case scenario, or think of the middle ground as well. Maybe the best won't happen. Maybe the worst won't happen. Maybe you'll just be okay. Maybe it will just pass. Maybe you'll just survive and get by. And like, that's equally good. Give yourself permission to be optimistic, because when we do this, we train our brains to fall in love with the idea of possibility in life instead of being terrified by it. I think when you use all of the tips that I've given you today sort of in conjunction with each other, daily life gets so much better. I think this year in 2026, I'm starting to see each day as a page in my book of 2026. Each page is going to have its own story, and each page is equally important. No matter what happens in it, I can accept it. I'm ready to be along for the ride, and I know I'm doing everything I can to better my well-being. And then at a certain point, I'm letting go with the goal of just having the most peaceful and fulfilled life that I can, that is rich in experience. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, be sure to like and comment, subscribe, or follow if you are on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can follow my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith and the Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod, all linked below. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.